I'm recording the audio to this in the middle of a thunderstorm, so let's see how it goes. So we're going to zoom in tomorrow like Georgia O'Keeffe. We don't have to do much background on her, obviously. But if you're looking at these, what you're noticing is she's kind of twisting them around, and perspective is a big, like, what's the perspective that we're looking at? How close are we zooming in? What's the scale? You know, where she's playing with the scale of these as much as anything else. These are huge flowers. Compared to the fit of the canvas. Color we'll be looking at, line quality. You can paint directly what's in front of you, or you can experiment and mess with it. So I'm not asking you to do a George O'Keeffe. I want you to just like think about what it means to zoom in and to scale. Another person who did this, and you'll see so completely different, is Lois Dodd, who is an artist in Maine, and she's one of my favorites. But yeah, she also did these kind of meditative takes on flowers. So I hope what happens is you're just really observant tomorrow, and it's going to be very mindful. You're going to be very observant, noticing all the nuances of the individual flowers. Yeah, such a great inspiration here. And again, colors are a huge thing. How far in she zoomed, what we have, what we're able to see in this, what doesn't make it on the canvas or the page. Those are all the decisions you're going to be making. Alex Katz also did this. His ended up being more really simple graphic patterns. That is another way to do it, but he zoomed in. I've never read, but I'm assuming he would probably say he took inspiration from George O'Keeffe with this series. Yeah, so see how many different ways there are to approach this same challenge. And Andy Warhol, although these are prints, but I'm just going to say he really simplified them and used them to play with color theory, warm and cool, color relationships. So that could be really fun too. Maybe that's what you feel like exploring tomorrow. Yeah, so, and then I wanted to just add one person who's not doing flowers to show you that, like, this idea of zooming in and scale is happening in other subjects too. Marilyn Minter, who deals with like feminine sexuality and those, all of like this idea of makeup and this really high gloss kind of lifestyle is pretty awesome, and she obviously zooms in too. So I just want to say it's not just flowers. But when you start painting, what's going to happen is it's all going to be about decisions. The first decision will be, or one of the first when you're picking out your paints, is what color am I going to do? You could do exactly what's in front of you, the flowers, or you could be like Bataro here and really experiment and play and exaggerate and saturate. You could spend your whole time to just try and like absolutely get as close as you can to the flower in front of you. Or you could experiment with mark making like Picasso did, and really have fun and create a totally different flower than what's in front of you. You could take like really simplify. You could take like a pop art approach like Lichtenstein. You could tell a story. This flower could be living somewhere. It could be in the trash. It could be on the table. It could be in a field. This is your choice, right? How much are you going to zoom in? How much are you going to show us around the flower? You could do a huge close-up of the flower, but maybe we see grass behind it. You could, there's all sorts of ways to hint. Like this is Mary Faden, and she always has hints of the world behind the table that she's painting. Yeah, or you could be like Marc Chagall and make it kind of a metaphysical story, a trippy, otherworldly story, a love story. You could really play with what's happening around it. You could do like Alex Katz, and we'll bring those back to show like the pattern. So the pattern isn't just with the flower, but the leaves. And I know this isn't really zooming in as close as O'Keeffe, but that's pretty close. So definitely you have the leaves to play with. You have the color of the leaves to play with. Yeah, and he really simplified, but these are so great. And then the other decision you have to make early on that's really important is composition. And Maroko Machiko, I thought I'd bring these in because she just really plays with this flower close up. She's a Japanese contemporary painter, and you could have a lot of fun. Look at how she plays with the green and purple and those bits of white. So yeah, I think tomorrow will be a lot about figuring out color, scale, and how far you're going to zoom in, and then the composition. So I'll see you tomorrow.